Tim, early question on the doors. Which way are you leaning in this game? Who do you want to see progress? Wolves, Koi?
It's a really difficult one. It's a difficult one to call. There's a bit of me that I enjoyed what Twister did at Furia. He's obviously in coaching Secret now, and I think again he's applying, sort of very good, sort of overall processes there and the attitude towards, the work they're putting in. So I kind of would like to see Secret get there, but there's no bias here. Wolves, they've had a tough first stage, but equally, they're always a joy to watch, and as an organisation, again, I like the way that they do things. So, certainly wouldn't be bad. And Koi, Koi, obviously our Berlin major champions from August, always a pleasure to see there. So I don't really have a specific favourite. Who do I think is going to do it? I think Koi's probably going to come away with the place. Obviously, it's not direct place to the major, but through into the sort of upper bracket of this stage.
You know what? Fresh talks a lot of rubbish, and often, therefore, I ignore him. But he's actually said quite a lot of sense in that pre-desk around the bans that might come through. We've seen the two operators that he mentioned coming out here. He mentioned Azami and her power on the defence. You've also, though, got the Decade ban coming out of Koi, which is the weirdest one, because that's the operator they've really enjoyed running time and time again. But here they are, being the ones that ban it away. Maybe you're leaning to suggest, look, okay, we don't play it on border, but we know how oppressive this operator can be. We'd rather just see it taken off the board so that no one can roll it out. Either way, going to see some change then in the comps, no doubt. Quite excited for this one, Tim, because border is one of those maps that can be ludicrously scrappy if you let it be.
It can.
Tim, look, Seven's got the drone disruptors.
The drone disablers.
Drone disablers, that's the one.
That's the one. Border can be scrappy. Border usually will quite often end up coming down to a battle over getting into the map. If the attackers get into the map, then the attackers generally have a good time of it. They will win a lot of rounds. But if the defence are able to fight them at the threshold, if they're able to get right up there to the edges of the map, then they can usually find a little bit more success. So that's going to be important for Team Secret. Basically, what I want from Team Secret to begin with here is I want to see them get lively, Des. Yes. I want them right out there, taking the fight to Koi, not letting them in the building, challenging everything.
I'd love to see it as well. One pick I've got to talk about is Astro on this dock, right? We saw Lost One playing this an awful lot. Maya back at the 6th Invitational was using it an awful lot. Had that slight buff come off, slight buff, it's quite a major buff really. Now Base has the ability to heal 200 HP with that gadget. It's been in the game a while, I know, but we're only now really starting to see Doc actually get picked up by a few more teams. It's really starting to kind of crawl up there. You see it paired up alongside things like Rooks. You have the extra HP from that as well. Also alongside things like the Oryx, who, as we know, inflicts a little bit of damage whenever he goes charging through a wall or through a surface in general. Doors and windows not quite included. Koi, though, here, though, starting out on the drones. They know that Groovy's looking to get pretty cheeky out onto the west balcony. For now, just kind of feeling out exactly where Secret are, exactly what it is they're looking to do. But at some point, they'll have to make a decision and start trying to pinch onto one or two of these players.
Savage doing exactly as I asked, getting right up there to the threshold. He's not going to let them have any ground easily here. A minute into the round, and Koi need to have a plan in place. They need to be moving this Wamai to allow themselves into that balcony, into the top of East Stairs, so that they can start really putting the pressure on. Noodle does manage to get a kill onto Astro. It doesn't clear East Stairs for them. Groovy goes out and manages to find Deepak as well, 4v4, and that's the kind of energy I was looking for from Team Secret. You got to find them trades, you got to get out of the map, you got to just really make Koi think about their entrance.
You'll be happy to get rid of the dock as well. Again, speaking about these gadgets, they only get stronger the round go by. It's great. They got a little bit cheeky on towards East Stairs as well, taking out the Wamai magnets, which now means Savage is under a little bit of threat. But Sleben swings out, finds leader elsewhere, and I'm slightly concerned, Tim, that Koi have really tried to do an awful lot at once here. They've had one or two players trying to fight inside of Office. Groovy's dealt with both of them now by himself out that side of the map. They've half pushed in towards this east side. There's been a couple of easy kills coming out for Secret there. It's been split. They've had like a 2 and a 3 working on either sides of the map, but they have absolutely crumbled against this defense put up by Secret.
I cannot miss that extraction from East Stairs by Savage. He's just hit the deck and just crawled on his belly the whole way down long corridor.
Savage the snake on Secret.
Exactly. exactly that. It's a brilliant extraction from him to get himself all the way back to safety. Crying, he's having a look around at this point. I don't think this early in the game we're going to be looking at any unofficial timeouts. He's basically waiting to see if he can bait anybody into him. Time is something that he had on his side. It's, as it always does, slowly ticking away from him. But giving that 20-30 seconds just to see if anybody presents themselves for a nice cheap kill to start levelling up the man count. But it doesn't happen. He manages to find Groovy, but with 6 seconds left to go, they know that they're safe to challenge him at this point because he's unlikely to go in and find all those kills. Sleben will shut him down, and that is Secret picking up round 1.
Sleben making it a 3k for himself in the round. But what's really interesting is about how normally we'd see Border played out. You know, it's no secret many look at this and go, well, here's the secret. It's no secret that it's seen as generally quite attacker leaning. There's so many soft walls. You can really restrict the ability for the defenders to be able to safely play in this map. And I thought Koi started well. They had this kind of 2 versus 1 play going on around these stairs. How on earth the Lion was allowed to get up towards the point where he could get rid of the magnets that were blocking the doorway at the top of these stairs was a bit like, whoa. And you did see a response come out of Secret. But even with that opening up where nades were then going to be more powerful, it was probably another 45 seconds until the nades actually started coming in towards main hallway and east stairs. So Koi not really kind of pouncing on the opportunity they created for themselves there, where there was a little bit of weakness shown in the Secret defense. And Secret to sit there and go, okay, you're going to step in, I'm going to swing and get the kill. Oh, you're coming in 30 seconds later, I'll step out again and get the kill. It lacked any fangs on the side of Koi. And I think if they're going to win this round here, we've got to see a little bit more pace, a little bit more urgency, and truthfully, a little bit more willingness to take a risk as long as you do it as a team.
Let's see where the risks come in round 2 then, as Team Secret are going to move us on. We are, of course, for our newer viewers, wondering where the sites are and how they work. We are in a 3-round rotation for the sites. So basically, if you win a site, you've got to play 2 rounds elsewhere before you're allowed to go back to that site. So that's Armory locked for the time being. So we're going to see Secret move on this time to Customs. They're going to head themselves downstairs. All 3 of the other sites on Border are located downstairs. And they are going to take what is sometimes one of the, I won't say least popular necessarily, only that far. There is an option to go to Customs, but generally speaking, Bathroom Tellers and, of course, Ventilation Workshop are the 2 more popular downstairs sites here on board.
Oh,
Secret
Savage.
just mixing it up. Savage trying to get active on the windows. Again, just like I asked, Secret showing that they've got a good understanding of defending on Border.
Yeah, nearly got away with it there as well. Just couldn't quite catch the backpack of Leader as he stepped away out towards those east side stairs out on the external part of the building. But now we've got to see what Koi do. Again, I keep on saying it, but I want to see them move with a little bit of pace, a little bit of urgency here. Drones in, get someone following you in. Not to open still fresh wounds, but this is the kind of space where you'd see someone like Spoit following that drone in. They'd make a move off the back of it, but so far it's been a little bit more chill, a little bit more slow.
Yeah, and that's something that Koi are going to have to approach. They're going to have to deal with because, as I said, the way that you win as a defender on Border is you stop the attackers getting into the map, particularly. That is an important one. So if they're not getting that beachhead, if they're not getting that toehold inside the map, if they don't have that person who's going to aggress in and actively take that space, it will mount up into a bigger problem for Koi, and they're going to find themselves having to have a very good defensive half, but Cryan just misses the man behind the monitor.
I love that. And there's also a mirror window inside the rune tin. They've got a contestant by, so there's just a few things stacking up here against the side of Koi that they've still got to unravel the puzzle put before them. Steps in, shot through the floor, but they've already dropped away, Tim. It's a few 3 points of damage onto Cryan. So far, Secret playing this brilliantly. They've wasted 2 minutes. They've dropped the hatch at the right time. They're taking a little bit of health away. They've drained away a couple of, in this case, 5 of the frag grenades that were in the back pockets of Koi. This is looking brilliant for a defense once again.
Astro also still has 3 full healing shots. Let's not forget they've got 5 active members back on site and a doc who can juice 3 of them back up during gunfights if the opportunity presents. This is a tall order for Koi now. 30 seconds left to go, and they need to think about exactly how they're going to execute and get a diffuser plant down on site. It's going to be tough because they are going against a fully stacked defensive team. As I say that, Savage will be taken down on the office hatch. Leader manages to find that opener. 20 seconds, Koi They need to get moving.
They expected that was coming. It's really good patience by Leader to hold on so late into the round. And only 30 seconds on the clock, he made his move. But now here comes YZN looking to do the same. Astro and Stebbin have found one apiece though. And Koi are being punished. But here comes Noodle. Can't spray transfer onto the second man. Only finds one. Plant going down. Has to win the gunfight and does. They're down to a 3v1 with YZN, the only one left standing.
Great play from Noodle, Des. Just opened them up like a tin of beans there, coming in from the side, man after man, and just really gave Secret the space they needed. The problem that they were trying to avoid, which was being able to challenge onto that diffuser. Right now, YZN, he's going to move himself around, try to relocate, see if he can get himself a cheap kill, but with the time ticking down, it's very unlikely that he gets this round 1 3v1. You can see, I like this from Koi, they're active. Even in the late post-plant situation, they're opening up vertical angles, they're trying to give themselves more options, they're not resting on their laurels, they're keeping at it, they're keeping active, and that's going to win them the round as Deepak manages to find the final kill. And Noodle, as well as that plant going down, really did have a decisive moment in that round.
It was a great read and good timing. One thing I was slightly concerned about with Noodle, I know he got into a great place at the right time, but it was that kind of right time bit that really came to light for them, because they forced these two players to drop away inside a small office off towards Armory Archive side. Knew they were running around inside events. At some point, they'd have to flood south side to be able to get back towards the site. And the most likely place to do that is going to be around that sort of waiting area in the transition through. So with how things set up there, I think it was good. It was good on the timing. Did it kind of rely on Noodle being there at the exact moment when he had the chance to backstab? Sure. Was that fully pre-planned? Not 100% sure.
Got a nice little stat pop up there. Our fantastic production team working wonders as always. Average number of unique operator teams have played so far is 20 attackers and 21 defenders. So a good portion of those operators getting through, but still plenty of variety to go at there, Des. Plenty of variety. Considering how quickly we saw all the operators used at SI this year,
I was just about to say, that's the one key stat I remember is every single operator.
How do they build that synergy?
Just telepathy, mate.
How did they do it? How did they do it?
I don't know. So we even got to a point last week where we started finishing each other's
sentences.
There you go.
I was so close to throwing sandwiches in there.
You'd finish my sandwich.
I don't know. You like a lot of sushi and stuff like that. I think food-wise, we've got quite different tastes sometimes. I don't want to disappoint anybody who thinks we do everything always identical.
No, we do. Don't break the mystery.
Sorry, yeah, we exactly the same. Leon's going to get taken out as the opening death there. Another good start from Secret. The aggression that they need in the early rounds. This time, they just need to... It's come very quickly for them. It's going to be difficult to hold on to that long term. Really, a minute 30 it needs to be, I think, at least before Kai start getting themselves in the building.
I'm enjoying the layers of which Secret have kind of formed. Onions have layers. It's like that, where they're starting out really aggressive at windows, doors, trying to cause a bit of trouble. Round one, we saw a really cheeky, like, small angle coming in towards spawn. Then back away to east stairs, then in towards the hallway, then back in towards office, then back in towards site. There's just always, you know, step 2, step 3, step 4 for Secret in terms of their defenses. And this is where a team like Koi has really got to rip that open. Get ahead of them, break step 2 or step 3 open, hold the angle, force the ones that are still stuck in step 1 back into these angles you're holding, and you get some freebies. But right now, Secret, they're looking at Koi and saying, this is predictable. It's step-by-step siege. There's not really much flair to it that we've seen just yet. Even the last round came down to the last 15 seconds. And this is where Secret will feel comfortable unless Koi can change that dynamic.
I'll just clarify that Deepak must have put that nade away and got it back out. Otherwise, he was holding it for about 15 seconds. Don't wonder about that. Either that or it was his second nade that was thrown. And the first
It'll
was
be a really
eaten
interesting
up by an
change if
ADS.
you could not put frag grenades away.
I think the first might have been eaten by an ADS. So it would be an interesting change. You know, much like we've had the reload change, Des, you can't cancel that. You know, making it so a situation where that can't happen would be interesting. Koi do get themselves established in office though, Des.
I mean, they've gone through a Gon 6, they've gone through a nade, they keep on losing things to these ADSs, it's a little bit silly. Sure, they've now got themselves some vertical control, they've got office, they've got fountain, they've got themselves in kind of archives. It's a good start, but it's 2 kills coming in for Secret here early in the round, now 1 here at 60 seconds, that's just taking away a lot of that executability coming out of Koi.
It is, they're just sort of slowly breaking them down here, no answers coming in from Koi at the minute. Ooh, that's an answer though, as Cryer manages to find an absolute beauty onto YZN. He was waiting, ready to pounce, but it's just not going to happen. Deepak, once again, Koi coming in with that late round presence. Deepak able to get one, but levelled out with a trade. 2 versus 2 now.
Because they've got no hard breach, because Leon went down early, they can't open up the hatch that they want to get opened up. So they're going to have to force this in a less than ideal way to make this work. They've got the kills so far. Groovy finds one more. He just cannot stop moving around this map. Cryan's got 10 seconds to make this work, but with no information, no one else to help him, it feels like this round is going over to Secret. And sure enough, there it is. 2-1 to Secret after 3 rounds. And I think it's about time we call in our good friend, the Professor here.
I'd agree with you. Absolutely. In he comes.
Fresh, what you got to say?
Well, Team Secret, they've got 3 distinct win conditions in all of their defensive rounds so far. The first is the very early engagements that they're taking up on the entry of the map, trying to get that man advantage. We saw them just in round 3 achieve that. Then the second win condition is in the middle of the round, which is the layering. We're seeing a lot of castles, for example, being used. A lack of rotates, forcing Koi to clear through the actual building, and then the third is playing outside of sight and then collapsing back on them as they're executing. They've executed 2 rounds very well there. The custom supply defense was interesting, actually, and I was very surprised they actually went there, because over the last 6 months, Koi have never lost an attack on that site. So to choose that site over Bathroom Tellers or Vents Workshop was an interesting choice for me, and I'll be interested to see if they do go back there when they complete this rotation.
Thanks very much, Professor. You massive nerd. Love ya.
I would agree. I love Fresh's in.
He's also a massive nerd. Do you agree with that too?
Yeah, I do, to be fair. He is.
Nerd, but we love our nerds.
In the nicest way.
He is. In the
only
in the nicest way.
It's all fine.
I love Fresh.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing so far from Team Secret. As I said, coming in, you know, the as Fresh, you know, broke down fantastically there. They're looking at the round. What do we need to do at each stage? They've got a good understanding of it. It's working well for them. You know, it was interesting, Des, in the last round you picked up on the utility of Koi. You know, maybe something I'd be interested for Fresh's opinion on a little bit later in the game as well. You know, how Koi were using that utility, giving it away to the ADSs. And I know that that's not relevant to, say, the hard breach, for example, but the management of utility in general left them in a position where they couldn't really win that round. And that's something else to keep an eye on going forward.
It all adds up, right, is the way I'm looking at it. And what I'm a little bit nervous about in this round for Koi is they've gone super execute heavy. I mean, to be fair, direct to site is never a bad thing, and that's exactly what they're considering. You've got the smokes coming out from the grid, from the Glaz, for example. You have the Glaz himself to obviously play off those smokes. They've got a good number of tools to make use of here to pull off a really good execute, but they're very conscious of being stabbed in the back when they try and make a play happen. And fair play to Secret. They haven't stuck to what worked last time. They've now got a shield set up here as well to protect their backside, which gives them even more cover here, where Savage once again can dance around these stairs and keep asking questions of Koi, who 60 seconds in are still only just about starting to figure things out here. They can see the freebie.
I was going to say, that is the Gemini decoy. Don't get over excited. Noodles just feeding that information in. That's the key. It's those yellow pings that are coming in. Noodles going to try to find his man, but not going to be able to. But there might be an opportunity here Leon. After the attempted run out. Leon picking up YZN, leaves them now in a 5 versus 4. And that's actually a much better start for Koi here. Not even halfway through the round. They get an opening kill onto Secret and can start potentially pushing their way into the map.
And it's the Warden they found as well. The exact counter they need to remove for this play to work. With YZN off the board now, they should be looking at a play, but Tim, they've already burned through their smokes. They've got nothing left to actually make full use of this Glaz, and yes, they've got 2 kills. 2 kills might be enough for them to now win the 5 versus 3, but we all know what we expect to see when you see 4 smokes in back pocket and a Glaz. Normally it's a big execute. Here, though, they've used it more to secure a couple of kills, and now they're in a spot to make this work. 2v4 for Secret.
I think that's okay for Koi, the way that it's gone. Like you say, using that utility, coming in, you know, it was a question that I asked. They've got the diffuser down now as well. All the pieces of the puzzle have fallen into place in round 4. And I can't say that I don't like it from Koi. I came in questioning utility use. Like you say, it may not have been used in exactly the way we might have expected, but it has got a job done. What it has done is it has solved a problem for them. Noodle's going to find that final kill to go on and win the round. And the problem that it solved for them in using those smokes and using those operators the way they have, it solved the problem of getting into the map, getting the kills, getting themselves established, and then the rest just fell into place from there on. A nice round 4 from Koi, I like that.
And tactical timeout coming in for Team Secret as well. Choosing here while they're up at 2 and they're at 2 and 2. Both teams obviously dead even with that scoreline. But this is the point where they're calling the tactical timeout, thinking, you know what? We should have won maybe 3 rounds in those first 3. If not for getting backstabbed by Noodlers, we all tried to flood back towards site. That would have been our round to take. And clearly they feel that last round, things just went a little bit too awry. And we commented on it about the use of the smoke. Really, it's like bait coming out against the members of Koi. Well, against members of Secret, sorry. The smoke's come through. Your natural reaction then is to, okay, we've got to try and make something happen here. They're going for a plant. We need to take a gunfight. We need to throw a C4. As they've stepped out, they've just lost a couple of members. And once in a 5 versus 3, Koi have not let that chokehold go. And they've gone through and seen it to close, which is great from them. Not 100% surprised us in Secret say, right, let's have a conversation here about what we can do. But honestly, maybe we would have expected them to hold off for a round or 2 to see how things go.
We know as a coach, Twister is quite keen, quite happy to take those early game tactical timeouts, to try and get involved. I think it's, maybe a little bit of theory of, stopping things before they get too out of control in a way. But yeah, I think overall, Team Secret, to be fair, can be reasonably happy with how things have gone so far. We've got a beautiful information at the bottom there, courtesy of Sprabuni, that's just going to be telling us just exactly where we're up to for that top 3 position. We've got 3 teams fighting it out on this side of things. Wolves, Koi and Team Secret all in the mix for that top 3 and getting through to the knockout stages that then lead into potential major positions. So it's all on the line to play for, and as you can see, both teams want good wins. Right now, Wolves are licking their lips, because as this goes on, as this game stays close, Wolves get more and more and more opportunities to be able to jump them.
Yeah, I mean, Wolves is dreaming that this game goes overtime. One team gets 2, the other team gets 1, and then Wolves going for a clean 3-0 win, and round difference isn't even part of the conversation, but that does mean Wolves have to go for a clean win themselves too. So yes, the longer this game goes on, the better for Wolves. Obviously, the more stressful it gets for both of these 2 teams. Now then, let's see how things shape up on this site. I didn't quite catch exactly where we've gone to on this site, but by the looks of it, it's onto the downstairs rather than a repeat of the same sites once again. Indeed, it's out towards Bathroom and Tellers, to the other side of the map. So one thing I'm looking out for here really is what's Koi's game plan. Right now, they're starting out on West Balcony, which to me says they want to go for a full map clear. Top floor down to bottom floor, all the way across, and then use that for an execute. So my only concern there being is that Koi have been quite slow on their attacks. Secret have done a brilliant job of slowing them down constantly. Every single time they've tried to move forward, there's another hurdle to get over. Right now, hurdle number 1 is Astro. He's already tripped up leader.
Manages to get that opening kill. That was something Secret were unable to secure in round 4, and it did not bode well for them. The Flores has been doing some work. Deepek taking down utility, using those drones. Astro knew the man was coming, was aiming maybe just a little bit low there, and Leon able to find the opportunity to pick up a headshot, level things out 4 versus 4, and with the way Secret's utility has been eaten away by the Flores as well, this could be a problem to continue holding on to top floor, but they're saying, no, who needs utility? We're just going to run out onto the balcony and shoot us a few more.
This must be infuriating, because across these 3 rounds, there's probably been at least 6 or 7 runouts at different points in the round as well. It's not like we're seeing the early run out, the early spawn peak. We've seen a couple, but it's these mid-round ones when they're saying, oh, okay, you're trying to challenge me inside a CC. Well, guess what? I'm stepping out and going for a swing out onto West Balcony as well. That round, well, the kill you've just seen then, 1 minute 30, and we're seeing that kind of play come through. It is punishing for Koi, because they basically have to commit someone full-time to having to watch flank drones. Much easier now that 2 of your players are dead, but when you're all on the field and trying to get stuff done, it's just maddening to try and deal with.
Interestingly, Secret have got themselves sort of holed up inside of Customs at the minute. YZN, Savage and Sleben all playing within that small area, leaving Groovy alone on site. If that's something that Koi recognise, there is the potential opportunity for them to take advantage of that situation. Team Secret may be playing for the retake there, but Groovy will hold on for as long as possible.
They're
30 seconds left to go, but Koi, you're definitely thinking about the potential for an execute onto site.
Good night. Nice little trade between the 2. I think that was actually one out towards passports they've dropped. There is 1 player still left inside of sight. They know the diffuser's going down. This is where Secret need to scramble and make things work for them. Groovy finds 1. Leon gets the trade back straight away. It's a 2 versus 1 for Secret, but Leon has sight control. Shut down from above as YZM plays patiently. They'll get the disable in it, and even though Koi spotted the opportunity to just go direct to sight, Secret are able to recover.
A nice retake. Nice retake played for by Secret there and achieved as well. Pretty good stuff from them. Gets themselves 3 defensive rounds on border, which is actually a very good start for them. They're going to fancy this going into the second half. Whether they get this round or not, they're going to be looking at this thinking, we're pretty set up here to go on and take this win. They will favour the attack, I would imagine. But it was well played by Secret, following on from the tactical timeout as well. Just really well played. They understood what was going on. Gruby's just going to hold tight for as long as possible. There's very probably going to be a plant goes down at some point, and we're there ready to move back on in and take that back using that verticality as well. They'd cut down enough members of Koi at that point that it just wasn't possible for them to have any sort of vertical presence.
And some might be wondering as well why Leon opted to go on the hunt there to try and find one of these 2 players that was left alive. It was a 2 versus 1 for Secret. Leon knows that if he sits and waits, there is a very good chance he's going to get himself 2v1. They're going to go for a swing. There's a player there for a crossfire or a trade. He would rather force 2 separate 1v1s and win out the round that way. Just unfortunately for him, Secret were expecting that. You had Wiser then holding that vertical as explained. He walks through a doorway and gets shot down in the back of the head. So criticise him all you like. I think it was probably the right play there by Leon. 3-2 then. Secret with the opportunity to go 4-2 here. Koi going to be scratching their heads a little bit. Keeping getting tripped up in the early round by these run-outs, the aggression coming out of Secret, the multi-layer defense that's coming out. We're going to see it again here, Tim, because that castle is onside once again for Gruby.
We've got to discuss the site choice again. It was something that Fresh mentioned a couple of rounds ago when he came in. It was, this is a site that Koi are very good at attacking. They've already won it on the attack.
Hang on a minute. This is where narrative and stats can sometimes collide a little bit. Koi have made 2 roster changes. They are very much a different team.
Very true.
Things are different, right?
Round 2 wasn't different though, was it?
It was not. But I probably come back to it. The timing from Noodle was excellent.
It was.
If he wasn't there at that exact moment, you probably have Secret refilling the site and winning the round in the retake. So it was a close one either way.
I tell you what, we'll decide how valid it is after this round.
All right then, mate. I don't want to hear your stats if they're 2-0 attacking this site. No, I want to see the reasons for it.
Well,
I want the quantitative information.
Let's see what happens.
Qualitative.
Noodle's just going to be working for information, still pushing in behind it now. Yellow ping's ahead of him, just giving him the idea that somebody is there. I think it's the Oryx that's just going to be playing off to one side. Savage inside of Archives, again, just trying to prevent that access, that map control that Koi do enjoy when they achieve. They've shown that they are able to utilise it and able to squeeze every drop of advantage from it. And for them, from their perspective, they need to be levelling things up 3-3 here. Noodle does take down Gruby to begin with. This is much better. Savage does find Noodle in a trade, but he's traded back himself with Leader leading the way, managing to get that kill 4 versus 3.
What I love there was even if Savage had won that first gunfight, Leon was coming on the backstab through Archives. It was basically a 3v1 being forced by Koi. That's the kind of team play that was missing in the first 3 rounds, and they've really punished Secret here out on the roam. You'll happily take losing your entry and taking down 2 players on the other side. Again, brilliant start. Koi here with 75 seconds. They should be able to get this done as long as they don't now trip over themselves going into the last 60 seconds.
They've just drawn out the last man inside of CCTV. You can see that the pressure is mounting. Going to hold a tight angle there, but nothing Sleben could do. Leon was well aware of his position. The drone had gone in. This is much better team play from Koi, working very, very well together at the minute.
They are. It's that team play again that I've been wanting to see that's been missing at least in the first 3 rounds, but it has ramped up as the half has gone by. Funny that, Tim. Teams can change how they play across the space of a half. 2 left alive then. Doc and the Mirror downstairs on site. Wiser then not really got himself too warmed into the game. Astro neither, in complete honesty. So for Koi, take it down to that last 10 seconds here. Get open what you need. They're looking at jail wall. They've got the verticals coming out from the sledge. It's looking good. Maybe even looking for a plant just in through the window here, I imagine, inside a supply.
Leader's going to rotate around to that position that we saw Noodle have so much success from last time they were attacking here. Astro is all alone, 4v1, and there could be trouble brewing here. He manages to find a headshot onto Leader. He can get himself back up, of course, being the dark, but he will not even make it back to his feet before Deepek cuts him down, and Koi level things up at 3-3.
Here comes the professional. What you got to say for us, my friend?
I was very impressed genuinely with Secret's defences, all but their supply customs defence, which, we did mention. Koi are very, very good at attacking that. I thought they grouped up together a little bit better in the second half of the first half there. One thing I will note is both of these teams statistically over the last 6 months are 50-50 pretty much on both attack and defensive border. Now, what that means is actually if you're a Wolves fan and you're hoping for overtime, there's probably quite a good chance of getting it given that it was a 3-3 half.
You know what I love about that most of all, Tim? EU now has this reputation for being 3-3s the whole way through. I think I was looking back at Emmy's match notes from last week to kind of review things coming in. In one of the games, she said 3-3 classic EU half. And that's the way that it is starting to build. So I'm with him. I think in that second half, we really did see Koi, or second quarter, we did really see Koi improve. Now, though, that everything we've just seen in that first half has been basically written off, and we get to start things all over again. Koi's most played defender this stage being Oryx with 79% pick rate when available, Tim.
Not too much of a surprise, I don't think. Oryx very much coming into the fold of popularity recently, particularly good gun. Mobile, can create rotations, just, very useful all round, and particularly good in those gunfights at the minute. So not too much of a surprise to see, but a fascinating stat nonetheless. Talking of our stats, to keep you up to date as to what's happening in this game and how it all fits in to the chase for third. At the minute, if Secret were able to win this out completely, 7-3, no more mistakes, no more lost rounds, that is their last chance to actually just win this game and get third place. There's nothing them Wolves can do about it. 7-4 onwards, Wolves will have an opportunity. For the Koi, it's slightly different. Even now, that 7-3 win, Koi are in a position where Wolves will have an opportunity. So every round from here just gives Wolves more wiggle room.
Oh, is this a bit of bait play coming out here as well? Ooh, maybe it was for a second. I thought they were waiting on top of the drone just to swing onto Leon when he went in for it. They know that it's a Solus here, and they're trying to play around that. You saw the reverse frag grenade coming up through the floor that almost tagged Leon down. He is sat on 40 HP here. No Doc on side. Can't get himself juiced back up, but he's still out there causing a little bit of havoc with Secret's intel game. 5 drones down.
Such a powerful operator, the Solus. We know this, so effective, especially when combined with a Mozzie as well. What chance do Team Secret really have of successfully droning here? It's no surprise to see them now limited to only 4 drones on the field, and that may well continue to be eroded as this round continues. Don't forget, we're only halfway through the round here, and now down to only 3 drones remaining. They are being absolutely starved of information, Des.
They are halfway into the round as well, as you say. It's a little bit brutal, but hey, this is exactly the similar style of outcome that we saw coming from Secret back in the first half. Is how can we waste a lot of time? How can we slow them down? This is a little bit different, but it's going to work wonderfully. Good 2v1 play to bring down Cryan, mind you. Secret still have the numbers advantage from this somehow and almost get another one.
It is. Just working in Astro with a big opener. It's something that we saw Kai struggle to do at times on attack. When they did get those openers, it created space for them, and they did well from there on. Let's see if Team Secret can do the same thing. Gruby just going to hold that top angle onto Fountain from main stairs for the time being before he gets aggressive and pushes up, but does need to be cautious of both sides of himself at the minute.
Diffuser's outside break room, I'm pretty sure, here as well, so they've got to be mindful of that. There you go, Astro's recovered it. Good. Now moving his way forwards, they're trying to get rid of this player that's in behind the mirror window. This is really where you want Sleben out on the west side, but he's out towards Archives. It's a slight misalignment on who's pushing him from where, but it's still a quick 1-for-1. Different places in the map now for a 3 versus 2. 25
seconds left to go, and Secret are starting to rue that inability to keep their drones alive as they go in, not knowing exactly where everybody is, but the kills still keep falling. Sleb and Gruby manage, even with face checking, to get the job done. It was just a bit too much for Kai to be able to hold on to, and a shame for them because they did so well in that information game. We saw it. They go in there, they've no idea the man's behind Fountain, and it's because they had 1 drone left. As 1 drone was all that Koi limited them to at that point, but still Secret found a way, and that is a fantastic start for them.
I mean, that way was just going back to Siege basics. Outside of Iana kind of taking a chance of spotting what she assumed to be a gap inside of Fountain, it was constant 2v1 plays coming out of Secret. The exact same thing that we said was missing from Koi in the first 3 rounds and started to appear in the next 3. I feel you've just seen it in spades there as well. Secret really pressing down there and going for things, looking for that trade play. If not for trade play, then making plays happen at the same time across different parts of the map. So when you did see a 1-for-1 come through that wasn't, the same 2 players involved, it was 4 different players at the same time. That's because we were seeing movement at different areas, trying to really move as a team even when not physically stood next to each other. Good attack from Secret. I think a really good defense out of Koi. Just needs tightening up a little bit when it comes to those gunfights and playing around each other.
Yeah, it was, as I say, it was a shame that, they did a lot of things very well. It just didn't work. Secret had answers. I think Secret sort of won the round rather than Koi losing it necessarily. But here we go. We're going to move on. It's going to be Bathroom and Tellers. Koi deciding that they're not going to double down on the top floor site. Instead, mixing things up and taking us downstairs. There's still going to be a lot of fighting goes on that top floor. Office control is going to be particularly important for Team Secret. So sort of area to the top left of your map, or straight in front of you now, as we've moved there following the Mozzie. Thank you very much, Red Light, for showing us that top down. So that area in particular is going to be important. We're going to see the attacking team, Team Secret in this case, try to get in there, try to establish that control, open the floor up, try and make it uncomfortable for Koi defenders to stay inside of sight, force them to play that sort of retake strategy that we saw from Secret.
I was going to say, some teams might look at it, players might look at this and be like, well, why focus so hard on drones? But they were down to 6 drones, Tim, with 2 minutes 30 still on the clock. They have been slammed by Leon in the droning phase, and oddly enough, this is actually something that Team Secret struggled with against Dark Zero when they played them back at SI. It was a real war for them to get anything done in what turned out to be a fantastic best of 3. But Dark Zero, Canadian in particular, just starved them of information, and ultimately it came back to bite Secret and cost them the game. I don't want to say we're seeing old mistakes kind of repeated here, but they've got 2 drones left. Everything is going to come down to blind peeking corners and hoping you find your man first.
That's it. They're just going to have to win gunfights. And the problem that they've got is that they're already at a man disadvantage. They've lost the knock, and that's going to make things very, very difficult for them now. Savage is going to get one of those few remaining drones out. Only 2 left now.
What a time as well, by the way, when those drones are in the back pocket of your entry in Iana and kind of an entry in Ash.
Yeah, it's scary stuff. Only halfway through the round, and like you say, Team Secret looking like a disused fairground here. There's not much to go on.
You love rolling that one out.
I know you love it.
You even changed it to disused rather than abandoned.
It depends what mood I'm in.
Why disused? What was the mood for that?
It made it sound different.
Fair enough. Waiting area then for Astro as he starts his march forward, looking up towards Bathroom. Again, this is what I mentioned about blind corners and having to just wait and assume that everyone's everywhere. And he would be right to think so. There's 2 inside Events Workshop. There's 1 hanging out inside of site. Has got the read on this, but can't find his man. Leon brought down to about 30 HP as Noodle finds another.
Nade is going to go in. They know that the Solus was just inside of the door. Nothing at all, really, that Leon could do there. Knows that he would have exposed himself to the line of sight he was being held from had he tried to move. 3 versus 3. 35 seconds left to go. And Team Secret are sort of slowly eroding this defence. But Koi are holding on pretty well. They've got themselves spread out. They've got 1 in customs, 1 in ventilation, 1 in sight. There is going to be nothing for free for Team Secret.
No, but again, everything's relying on intuition here as well, and a little bit of instinct as to what you expect is going to happen. They've got the drop down, they're going in for a potential plant here. Sleben baiting it out for a second, expecting him to get pushed, but it's simply not coming. Now the moves start. I don't know if they know there's actually a player on site here, Tim, that could really sting them.
It has. The diffuser's gone down. Noodle manages to pick up Astro. That could be a big piece of the puzzle. It gives them the man over, and Noodle can start working his way up into waiting potentially. But Secret, as a key, have got the top floor. It's something that Koi were unable to play with in this same position. Is Savage able to hold on? The challenge is going to have to come, and it will. They've got a little bit of time, about 15 seconds to play with here, Koi. But right now, Secret, they are in a position to potentially hold this out in a 1v3.
They've got to be so careful. Timing is everything here as well. They know where Savage is. They see when they get the down as Noodle starts to disable at the exact right time. They'll stick this one out. Great retake coming out from Koi.
Such a close and hard-fought game. It just shows how much is on the line for these two teams. Neither of them wanting to give even an inch here. 4-4, and really, Des, there is only one benefactor, as we keep saying, if this continues in this trend, and that is going to be Wolves sat rubbing their hands at the prospect of this going to overtime, because it gives them a very clear opportunity then, a very clear path to turn around the opening stage of 2023 for themselves and get themselves into those knockout stages for a major place.
It's crazy to think Wolves haven't actually won a game yet at this stage.
And could be in that top 3.
It's a real smash and grab, we call that back in the UK sometimes. It's just unreal to think that a team has lost 2 series, admittedly in overtime. They could have been wins, in which case they could have had 4 points by now. But they've lost 2 in overtime. They've got 2 points, therefore. They also clear outright lost the other one in regulation. So again, just a simple win today could be enough, assuming this game does go all the way to overtime. But we've still got a lot to go yet, Tim. I tell you what, it feels kind of weird that we're only 8 rounds in. I feel like we've watched about 15 rounds between these two teams so far.
It's been an absolute war.
Yeah, because again, the back and forth between the two of them to control different parts of border, the hurdles that have been put up, the team play that we've had to see evolve, it really has been a lot of change in just 8 rounds so far.
So to give you an idea of exactly how the situation stands for Wolves, it's still not fantastic at the minute, but the point is it's getting better round by round for them. So if it were to finish now, say either team were to win 7-4, Wolves, depending which team it is, if it were Team Secret, Wolves would need a 7-0, I believe. If it was Koi that wins 7-4, then Wolves will need a 7-1 at least. So it's still not great for them. They've still got an awful lot of work to do against M&M, but the point that I'm making really is, as these two keep trading blows, there is only Wolves that benefit, because every round that ticks up, every time it's a 7-5, you know,
Leon,
it's an overtime, it gets easier and easier for them. YZN is going to take down Leon for an opener, and that's going to leave us 5 versus 4. Team Secret able to get that opener quickly, and they've got time now to use that to create some space.
baited them out so well on the vertical there. I think the right idea, you're assuming they're on ground level. They have been the whole game so far. Why would that change? And through the soft wall. This is why we reinforce that single wall. I've seen it every single round so far when we've had Savage playing around these stairs. This round, it's left soft, and they pay the price.
Savage going to be working his way towards that west balcony. We're just going to have a detonation of a nitro from Crying on the window, just trying to sort of outthink his man, but he's not going to find the target. Safety was had as a priority by Savage to begin with. Crying, ooh, just looks away at potentially the wrong time there as they're looking to challenge that break door, but he's going to hold on for the time being with the Warden. The opportunity, it's tantalising, Des. We know that it's going to present itself. He takes his shots, but he can't find his man, and then he's going to be taken down by Savage.
It's again this team play. Every time they're stepping into a gunfight, there's 2, 3 players looking to step in and get aggressive. Beamed by Leader though, that Vector ripping through the halls of border, but he's got it all to do. Cannot do it. The C4 gets ripped, and Sleben was there ready and waiting to collect his due reward. Fresh, what do you think about those last 3 rounds, my friend?
Koi have been playing to a different win condition to Team Secret on the defense. They've been playing to deny that information. We've seen Solace in all 3 rounds from them so far. What they should have done when they've been trying to deny that information, though, is then back up to positions outside of sight, to ratty positions, to really try and basically expose the lack of information Team Secret have. On the 2 armory sites, we've not seen them do that. We've seen them continue to try and fight and fight and fight. And that's ultimately what's cost them. Now, they've taken a timeout and they're probably going to have a nice big talk about what's going to go on their defense. And I would too, because they only play 3 sites, but their Vents Workshop is mediocre at best. On a defensive win rate, it's 33%. Their armory archives, 47%, excluding these last 2 rounds. The only site they're really comfortable defending is Bathroom and Tellers. So they're going to have to figure something out very fast. Now, I would maybe change the approach and the win condition for Koi. Back that you've got the better gunners and really try and fight them as much as you possibly can. Or if you're going to continue with this information, make sure that you stick to the win condition, get yourselves in these ratty positions once you've denied 7-8 drones. Secret are not going to be able to check everything with the time left.
Back themselves that they've got the better gunners, he's recommending there, Tim. But by the way I'm looking at things,
I'm not sure they do at the minute.
Not this game. Not this game.
In general, yeah. We know that Koi have got fantastic players. The ability's right up there. But the point is, the numbers aren't showing it today. Secret are coming away with a lot of the 50-50 fights, which is just, it's not a huge edge at the minute, but it is just giving them that 1 round. They always seem to be that 1 round in front. And so, it's looking pretty good for Secret at the minute.
It's the beauty of hindsight again, because coming back to those first 3 rounds, we've spoken about it quite a bit already, but the 1v1 natures coming out from Koi, not really looking to push it in 2v1s and 3v1s like we've seen Secret doing in every round of this half so far. It is stacking up against them. And as much as we're kind of going in on Koi here and seeing their mistakes far more obviously than Secret's, it is still only 5-4 to Secret. Koi still very much have the possibility to keep themselves going. I'm pretty sure, isn't hashtag Koi fighting a thing? Pretty sure it is.
I'm pretty sure it could be. It's they are fighting out.
On Twitter.
The thing is, and you've got to be impressed by those performances as well, because I've said this time and time again. It's easy to win 7-0. It's easy to win when you come out and you're just winning every fight and everything's going your way. That's not what wins your titles. That's not what wins your tournaments. Being able to win the ugly matches are the ones that win your tournaments. If you're having to struggle, Koi, they're struggling a little bit.
Hello.
Oh, hang on a minute. Secret are already getting it down. They're going to get away with this, Des. Nobody's going to stop him.
I was about to say there's someone above that should be able to stop this, and they were there eventually. They've managed to get the down as well. As soon as it looked like they were going to stick it and be able to win this round, it's been turned around by Koi. But a bit of chaos inside of the site as Sleben managed to slither his way in, has got a kill back, and now it's a 3v3.
As I said, sometimes you've got to be able to win the ugly ones, and that is, Koi have just got a job done there. They've lost a couple of men doing so, but now 3 versus 3, Diffuser down inside a site. It really puts Secret.
That's the thing.
That's the big thing. It puts Secret on the back foot. They've lost the spearhead of the attack. They're having to now just play by, the seat of the pants. They're just having to play this on the fly. We're going to have a good opener from Secret essentially going in, but again, Koi are always there to double down on it and to back it up. But Secret are going to be the ones, there's with 1 minute 30 left to go in a 2 versus 1.
Oh, leader. Can you smell that clutch coming?
Astro's low health though.
He knows that he's on the main stairs as well. It's just if Astro can win this out, then there's a problem. Has no idea. I was about to say surely he has no idea, but he does. It's down to a 1 versus 1. Both players sat on 9 kills in the game. That's just how close it is. Sleben's in and trying to make a stick work out here as well. I think Leader has got no idea, has played it a bit too passively, assuming they'd try and look for kills. But no, they've gone for Diffuser down, and now it's a big fight back for Leader.
It's not going to be easy from here because Sleben's been able to get himself outside of the map, and you're playing against a very experienced player here. Sleben is not going to be baited into a silly position, I wouldn't expect. He's going to play his patience. He knows he's got about 18 seconds left that he just needs to hold on to. This could be a big brain play. We've seen it only once or twice before, Des. They're going to give it a go, but no, look at that. I spoke about Sleben's experience, and he really shows it. Leader, he's trying to get it done. He doesn't know exactly where he is. Surely he finds his man. Yes, Sleben. He knew exactly what was coming, and that was experience being put to fantastic use. You weren't going to get away with that one, and I'm sure he had I'm sure he had Leon in his ear as well saying, I've seen this before. I've seen this before, Sleben. Don't let him get it through the wall.
I know it was in the bank basement. Which two teams? Empire.
It was Sadru. Yeah. Sadru got, so for anybody who doesn't know, back at the Raleigh Major a good while ago now,
2018.
The same situation presented itself. It was in bank. It was between Archives and Tellers next to it, and it was basically the same. Leon had a vertical cover on it. The diffuser was down, and he'd gone up to CEO and was covering vertically. And Scyther just took one shotgun blast in the wall and was able. Leon couldn't get the angle through onto him. I don't think. I think there was something obscuring his vision, his ability to see through to that position, and Scyther was able to defuse. But I used that clip, and I'll use the one we've just seen there so many times when people say to me, what is it that makes Siege different? What is it that makes Siege unique? And that's your answer right there. Just, it's that 4D element of like, right, yeah, there's normal options, but actually I can just blast a hole in this wall, and now I've got a diffuse option that wasn't available to me 2 seconds ago. But as I say, Sleben, he's been around the block once or twice, and he's not going to be caught out by that.
I was talking to a host who works another game who really wants to get involved in Siege, and they were saying like, it's just so ridiculously complicated. I was like, I get the complication, but it's depth, right? Like that level of interaction across multiple floors, all the different operators we've got, the different combinations that work together, the guns, the gadgetry, the secondary utility. There's just so many layers to Siege, and that is one of them. When you see it come to light like that you're just like, that is why it's something special.
It really is. The depth is, in many cases unmatched. A lot of it coming about because of the level of destruction that we're able to enjoy. And then, like you say, throw gadgetry and guns and diffusers all on top of that, and you get a pretty complex puzzle. But that is why we love this game, because it just presents something new every single time. Here we go then. Let's have a new round. It's going to be round 11. Team Secret only need one more. Koi are fighting to keep themselves alive here. If they don't get the win, they will not be going into third place. They will be dropping down to qualifiers. In
case you missed that stat just a second ago, I mean, even production was saying to me, God, shut up, Tim. 100% entry conversion for Secret where they've got the entry. So we'll see if it carries on in this round. But Tim, I'm seeing the sends and I'm just thinking there's some more cheekiness coming out here as well. They've got the line all the way through in towards site, which blocks it out. A good nade coming in from YZN. They've got full control of site here, Tim, and what a play they've pulled off.
Diffuser's going down, YZN straight in there again. I like the aggression from Secret wanting to take it over the line. It's like they knew that there was blood in the water. The opportunity was there, and this is leaving Wolves in a very tough spot and Secret in a very good one, Des. If they're able to lock out this round, it's currently 4 versus 2. It's going to be a tough ask for Koi. They've got leader, they've got Crying, and they're going to be trying to find kills to begin with, but they've got about 18 seconds to get them. Yellow ping information telling them where the pressure's coming from. Leader able to take one, but Savage, he'd already done the damage. He'd already found Crying, and he's going to leave Koi Crying all the way into those qualifiers, Des, because Secret are the ones that get the win. They're the ones with the potential opportunity to snag that 3rd place, and it's all going to be up to Wolves, who I believe are going to need a very good 7-0 win to take the spot from them.
Fantastic game from Secret. I know at 5 and 4 we were saying, look, this is actually really close despite all that's going on. Genuinely think on the day, the better